this is going to be part 2 of my Disney rant. Let's get that horse back up there. And let's talk about the buyouts Disney has done, where they purchased thing after thing after thing after thing after thing, and their investment has basically been minimal. Alright, let's start with the acquisition of Pixar. Alright, Pixar was one of the first things they bought under the Iger regime. You're starting to get a theme here. Under the Iger regime, Disney has overspent like crazy. Pixar, they bought for $7.4 billion. So they spend more than on Pixar than they did on LucasFilm. About the only good thing out of this whole ordeal. And Pixar, since Disney bought them, what have they done? What have they done? Just sequel after sequel after lame-ass sequel. You got another Incredibles movie, which was years too late. You got another Cars, 2 or 3 Cars movies. I can't even tell anymore. You got another, when all else fails, let's go to Toy Story. A movie franchise that, in my opinion, could have ended after just the first movie, because that was it. For me personally, that was it. But they gotta keep going to that well and watering it out and put that bucket, pull out that water till it's all dry and craggy and being used for to house some kind of evil shadow beast. I just dropped a Zelda reference right there. Pick which game, figure out which game. So basically the quality's gone downhill. They've just been rehashing, re-releasing, re-sequelizing basically the big 4. Because Frozen's supposed to get a new sequel, because apparently the Olaf thing didn't work, so now they're going with an official sequel that I don't think people are as excited for as they were for the first one. What's next? Marvel, another $4 billion company. That made its money back. That was doing really good. It was the goose that kept laying the eggs. And because Feige wants to also now save the comic books, it's going it most likely is going to start not making those big bucks that they're used to. Because Feige is pushing Captain Marvel, who is a constant failure, a character that is a constant failure. It's been canceled 5 times in like 7 years. I don't know how many years, but it's been canceled 5 times in a very short amount of time. Like, and this is supposed to be our one of our most brilliant and powerful people. Feige, get the fucking hat off, the stupid hat off. Crawl back into the corner you came out of. Because, and I know the Marvel fans are going to go see these films anyway, despite what I say, because they're just CGI barf fest as far as I can tell. With too much obvious CGI, too much of the heroes amounting to nothing, too much of the villains amounting to nothing. I couldn't even tell you the villains in most of these things. The Avengers movies, and only because Ultron was nothing but more than a meme to begin with the whole Pinocchio thing. Yeah, I couldn't even, I honestly couldn't tell you. I just couldn't. Ugh. So yeah, don't be surprised if the films you grew up with or watched for the last 10 years, if you haven't already jumped ship after Endgame, which what's the point of watching it now, because they're literally just restarting they're restarting it. They have to restart it again. They lost Spider-Man, so there's no Spider-Man to save them. There's no name recognition left. What, you, like I said before, you're gonna have Captain Marvel? No one cares. You're gonna have build your thing on Doctor Strange? I could see that being a thing, but why? Whatever, you're gonna do you. So if you like those movies, good for you. If you're like me, you haven't cared for a long time, kudos to you. Or if you're done, just flat out done with after Endgame, you know? Of course, Lucasfilm. Now I did some numbers. Now, okay, the numbers, and could be completely wrong. Now I did the numbers based on the movies times the budget by 2. And frankly, yeah, when Yogurt, 100% right. Merchandising, where the real money from the movie is made. And based on these numbers, wow, is it true? Because Disney, based on just the films, have only gotten a little over 300 million. They probably got more than that. I probably messed up the calculations. But if you take the budget first and then everything else, yeah, they really didn't. So regardless, they didn't make jack shit on the movies. They made a little over 300 million on the movies total. Now, when you add the park, which cost $1 billion, and it was a $1 billion investment, they actually lost almost 700 million on Star Wars. Yeah. Now, I'm putting a disclaimer. This is having the profits, taking away the budget, which is calculated by timesing it by 2, which is what I heard online, so I don't know. I'm not a mathematician. I don't know how this shit works, really, but but that's just the way I was basically given. And yeah, they either make barely over 300 million or they lose 700 million with or without, depending on whether you add the $1 billion park in. So yeah, they really needed those merchandise sales, which they're not getting, from what I understand, because if the rumors are true that they still pay Lucas, who owns part of Disney, residuals for merchandise. Yeah, the original stuff and the prequel stuff selling pretty good. The new trilogy junk, not so much. I just had someone for some reason steal one of the 6 figurines from the Black Label stuff based on the new trilogy, and I have no idea why the fuck some moron would. Well, I guess they were still $20 and never went on sale. So I wouldn't want to pay $20, and I still think that guy got ripped off. So, yeah, but now they're trying to. They were called out for being such a bad company with their employees by the only remaining Disney family member. And now, all of a sudden, they're D23. Alright, we'll get to that. And D23, they announced, our big thing is we're going to have a documentary about how happy our employees are. Really, if you got to make a documentary to cover your own ass, you have issues. So, they're making that. They're also trying to make another documentary because there's been reports that kids aren't into Star Wars. I wonder why. No one's taking their kids to see these fucking films. No one's buying these films merchandise. No one fucking cares. No one cares, Disney. No one cares about your garbage Ray, who I would have liked to have liked, but you let Crying Ryan flub her out. So it's like, I don't give a shit about this next movie. I don't give a shit about Abrams. I don't give a shit about Kathleen Kennedy, Lucasfilm, or any of it. It's garbage. Your whole trilogy is easily detachable. I can easily detach it from the original and the prequels because the original and prequels don't need it. You need them, but you don't need it because they're doing member berries. Remember all those big moments in the prequels? Yeah, you remember. Remember all that great stuff in the original trilogy? You remember. And some guy out there right now is getting all those member berries in the new trailer and going exactly like this. Oh my god! I just cleaned my pants! I need new pants! You want to go see it? Go see it. It's not my money that's being wasted. Ugh, fucking morons.